An enormous turnover in players since then, and even since we were here 2 years ago. How can Clare bring so many under-21s in so quickly?
Very, very difficult, Matt. I mean, I suppose there are 10 changes, I think, since that Munster final 3 years ago. I mean, guys like Frank Lohan, Colin Lynch, Niall Gilligan have retired. Tony Camry, Tony Griffin, only 30 years of age, are unavailable. Brian O'Connell has emigrated, unfortunately. He's a big loss. He was the team captain. And Jerry O'Grady has been injured. So, you know, normally when you're bringing in young players, you know, ideally you have experienced players around them to guide them, but it's been a steep learning curve for the Clare newcomers, and, you know, a big test awaits them today.
And how good are these new young players?
Well, they have pedigree, Matt. I mean, you know, we've contested, I think, the last three Munster Under-21 finals, obviously won the All-Ireland title in 2009. So there's no question about it. There are good players there, but they're being asked to come in and fill central roles, and that's not easy for anybody to do. If you contrast that with Tipperary, where, you know, Pádraig Maher comes in, you know, he's got experienced players around him, Bonner Maher up front, he's got Lara Corbett, Owen Kelly, and that's, I think, the difference. That Tipperary have experienced players, Clare haven't.
Of course, Clare also coming from Division 2, but we saw last week Limerick really put it up to Waterford in the semi-final. Does that suggest the gap between Division 1 and Division 2 isn't too great?
Well, that's probably suggesting that the gap between Waterford and Tipperary is not great either. I mean, there's a big difference between Tipperary and everybody else, aside from Kilkenny probably at the moment. They're a wonderful team, they're brilliant. A forward line where all six can score. It's a disadvantage, there's no doubt about it. You're playing a lesser quality team in Division 2, and I mean, to step up then to play the likes of the All-Ireland champions, having played weaker players throughout the league, it doesn't do anything for you to define how good certain players are in certain places. And on days like this, you don't want to be finding out about players on days like this. You prefer to know about them before you arrive at a day like this.
Well, Jerry, you made it very clear to me on Tuesday night below in Cusack Park in Ennis that you were expecting a big performance for your team. Are you confident they will deliver today?
Yeah, well, everything, all the boxes are ticked in that, you know, so we've come down, like, you know, there's no great pressure on Clare. We realise that we're playing the best hurling team in the country at the moment, so, you know, we're coming in, nobody's really expecting a whole lot off us, but we're very determined, like, to be proud of the jersey today, and, you know, I can't ask any more of the lads after that, and, you know, some days in hurling, if you get the bounce of the ball, it can work out great for you, so hopefully today conditions are going to be perfect for a good game of hurling, and, you know, we must stand up to and be counted today.
You've no championship game under your belt today. How important is it to hit the ground running and get right up to championship pace right from the off?
Well, of all the games like that you'll be playing in, there'll be no point in waiting to see what will happen against Tip, because it'll be gone out of reach after 15 or 20 minutes if we do that. So we're very conscious that we hit the ground running, and that we you know, we meet them head on, and that we battle this out, because today we'll require fellas to stand up and be counted, and as I say, we have the work done, so hopefully we won't be found wanting in that department.
Declan, you're overwhelming favourites going into today's game. How does that sit with this Tipperary team?
I suppose it's All-Ireland champions, you know you're going to be favourites going into any game this year, and it's no different to the last day. We know we have to perform to the best of our ability, you know, and if we do that, we'll give a good account of ourselves. You
responded very well when put under pressure by Cork the last day. How important is that to have that game under the belt already?
Yeah, it's great to have a game, you know, for the team point of view and from the management point of view. It's good to have a team, you know, to have a game under your belt there. Obviously, it's going to be a big help to us today. We've a better idea about our players, and you know, they battled very well the last day, and no doubt we'll have to battle again today.
Clare versus Tipperary, it evokes memories of great rivalries and great games from the past, but I suppose you'd be happy enough with any sort of a win here today.
Yeah, we're coming down for the win today, same as the Sparrows coming down with Clare for the win, you know. We know it's going to be a huge challenge, but we're up for it. We've prepared very well, so we're looking forward to it.
So those are the views of the managers.
Clare will be hoping that there is a bit of complacency in the Tipperary side, and hopefully get a couple of early goals. There's some very good forwards, Darragh Honan and John Conlon, and test what Tipperary are made of.
Well, the game is on. It's Clare then that are playing from left to right in this Munster semi-final. Live coverage here on TV3 from the Gaelic grounds in Limerick. Clare with the first attack of the day. The new man, Cathal McInerney, leaves that to Fergal Lynch. Serious hit by Pádraig Maher, much to the dislike of the Clare contingent here in the stands. Jonathan Clancy, poor ball picked out by Michael Cahill. Cornerback for Tipperary, early ball in towards Noel McGrath. McGrath has started in the 13th position. We'll follow the changes in a second. Nicky O'Connell tidying up in midfield for Clare. Lovely low ball up to the impressive Conor McGrath, immediately getting away from John O'Keefe. McGrath's in a goal shot. Oh, what a goal! Conor McGrath, the man who's making his debut this afternoon, has written his name all over this Munster semi-final. What a goal!
Yeah, that's exactly the start Clare and the match will want. Gerald Loughlin will be delighted. Conor McGrath just comes out, never puts the hurley to the ball, just picks it up clean and rounds John O'Keefe, and fantastic goal, gives Brendan Cummins no chance.
The man who played so well last year in the Munster Under-21 final against Tipperary. What a start for Conor McGrath, and exactly what Clare needed. Meanwhile, Tipper on the attack. Picked up though by Patrick Donlan. Experienced campaigner in that half-back line. He's forced out over the line. That'll be a line ball the far side of the field for Tipperary. Including 2 sideline cuts against Cork. This one, it's on its way, but it goes at the last second, tails to the right and wide. First wide then of the Munster semi-final.
Yeah, sometimes in the line ball, when it goes over, it's fantastic. When it doesn't go across the ball, it's a waste. But here's the goal again from Conor McGrath. Just a fantastic finish up high into the corner of the net. Really lively and great skill.
Great turn of pace, Conor McGrath. Puck out then from Philip Brennan, returning in goal for Clare this afternoon. Pádraig Maher brought it down initially. Tidied up by Conor O'Mahony. Strong, heavy hit on Conor O'Mahony as the ball sprays out over the sideline. And Diarmuid McMahon goes in to have a quick word, and there's a little bit of after as Pádraig Maher is going in there. John Conlon is also getting involved, and I think both teams are rekindling perhaps rivalries of yore, Nicky English.
Yeah, first of all, it was great work by Diarmuid McMahon. He came in and blocked Conor O'Mahony and hit him fairly on the ball initially, and he had to go back for a bit of afters, and from there it just got a little bit a bit ugly there for a while. But you know, Tipperary, I see Seamus Callan coming back to get involved, Noel McGrath to get involved, and that's not normal for those players. And there you can see Diarmuid McMahon coming in there and blocking the ball and also getting Conor O'Mahony with it. So it's a strong challenge, but he actually blocked the ball.
McGrath being asked to hurry it up. No, they're already in the game here. Good ball in towards the full forward line, taken down though by Patrick Donlan, who has moved into the number 6 position. Patrick O'Connor is also there. Donlan does well, picks it up. James McInerney is playing at 7 in positional switches from Clare. Cian Dillon is at full back as Diarmuid McMahon. Early ball into his full forward line, breaking inside to the danger man again. Conor McGrath getting away from John O'Keefe, held up though. Michael Cahill was the second man on duty to stop the Cratloe forward. Tries to play a diagonal ball though, that's well taken there by Shane McGrath. Blocked down though by Diarmuid McMahon. The point is on, and the point is taken by Diarmuid McMahon. The 2 Clare scorers have come from players at different ends of their careers. The last one from the experienced Diarmuid McMahon. The first one from the skillful youngster McGrath.
Yeah, and Diarmuid McMahon has been putting himself about. See, he's working very hard, blocked down and straight over the bar. And Conor McGrath continues to look lively on John O'Keefe in the corner.
So puck out then, down towards Larry Corbett. Great catch by the hurler of the year. Corbett, first shot in anger in towards the edge of the square. John O'Brien tussling with Cian Dillon. Ball is still alive. Out comes the goalkeeper Philip Brennan and gets it up. Gets the hand pass away to James McInerney, who, despite the 6 on his back, is playing at left half back. Gets it into Patrick Donlan. Makes a little bit of space for himself and drives a huge clearance upfield. Ball breaks. Onto it is Fergal Lynch from Clooney Quinn. Lovely diagonal ball over towards Jonathan Clancy. Oh, vital touch by Michael Cahill. Conor McGrath though wins it for Clare. There are options left and right, but Conor McGrath is quite happy to bide his time, select his shot and fire it over the bar. Conor McGrath has hit 1 goal and 1 point in the opening 6 minutes of this Munster semi-final, and he looks a good one.
Yeah, well, James O'Connor did say before the game to watch out for this guy, and he's really playing superbly. He could have won a free there as well before, but he was well that the referee let him go and put a great point.
Interestingly, Michael Cahill is over on him as Patrick Bonner-Maher gets onto the break from the puck out. Patrick Bonner-Maher in towards goal. Lovely flick pass out to Seamus Callan, and the goal is on. Vital block by Donlan, and in comes Conor Cooney to get a touch on the ball out towards James McInerney. And Clare are quite happy to get the ball out of the danger zone. Fleeting goal chance there for the tipman, Diarmuid McMahon, playing at wing forward. Early ball in again. Breaks down, who's onto it? Paul Curran. Does well in at full back to secure possession. Conor O'Mahony lays it off to Pádraig Maher. Oh, excellent play out of defence by Clare, or by Tipperary, I should say. Very sure of what they were doing there. David Young, long ball downfield. Owen Kelly beaten to it though, and out comes Conor Cooney. The O'Callaghan's Mill man in his 3rd championship game for Clare gets it upfield. Intercepted though by Pádraig Maher, back in that number 7 jersey for the tipman. Stalemate in midfield. Ball is still alive. Nicky O'Connell goes in to give a hand. Jonathan Clancy is also in there. Patrick Bonner-Maher trying to pick it up. Seamus Callan beaten to it. Patrick O'Connor tries to get a touch on it, but the man that comes away is Nicky O'Connell. Lively start to this game in the Gaelic grounds. Early ball inside, well dealt with though by John O'Keefe. Moved back to the number 2 jersey this afternoon, Shane McGrath. Early ball to his full forward line. Cian Dillon is over there shepherding the ball away from John O'Brien. Good play by the Crushing man, also in his third championship appearance this afternoon for the Banner. Ball breaks in the half forward line. Who's onto it is Fergal Lynch. Lynch looks up, thinks about having a shot, has a pop at the post, it's high and it's got over the bar. Super score by Fergal Lynch, and the Clooney Quinn clubman drives it over the bar. 6 points for Clare, made up of a goal and 3 points. Tip yet to score, Nicky.
Yeah, it's a superb start by Clare, and they're thoroughly deserving of being 6 points in front. They're first to every ball, and you know, they're blowing Tip out of it at the moment, and worrying signs for Tip.
8 minutes gone. We have yet to have a free. It's certainly lively fair. Patrick Donlan in his centre half back position, driving the ball upfield. The 25-year-old breaks down, tidied up at wing back by Pádraig Maher. Big questions being asked of the All-Ireland champions in the Munster semi-final. Seamus Callan, though, is a man that could provide some of the answers. On this instance, it goes wide. Second wide of the day for Tip, and Tip just need a score, Nicky.
Yeah, they certainly need a score to settle them down. That was very good work by Pádraig Maher, and great skill by Seamus Callan, and fine shot, but just wide, and they're a little bit unsettled, and Clare certainly have them on the back foot just now.
Philip Brennan. Untala goes to the left-hand flank with that puck out. Well caught by Fergal Lynch. Lynch trying to burrow his way through. Manages to get the offload back to Conor McGrath. He's under pressure, breaks to John Conlon. Gerard Ryan is in to nick the ball. Tidied up by Pádraig Maher. Play on is the referee, finding Noel McGrath, who's gone out to the half-forward line. In towards the full forward line. Conor Cooney, very close, and I think he did pick it off the ground in that instance. Just when he was Tipperary's all-time championship top scorer with a whopping tally of 18 goals and 333 points, stands over this free. The captain of Tipperary strikes it high, puts it straight over the bar, and the Premier County are out of the blocks. 10 minutes into the Munster semi-final, and Declan Ryan will certainly be the more worried of the two managers.
Absolutely, and after 10 minutes, that's Tip's first score, as you say, from a point, and they needed it.
Philip Brennan going again towards the centre forward channel, worked through by Lynch. Ball tidied up though by Paul Curran. It's the hand pass away to John O'Keefe, well blocked down by John Conlon. O'Keefe under pressure, being forced to work his way out of defence, but does well. Shane McGrath whipping defence into attack. John O'Brien gets a touch. Tidied up though by Patrick O'Connor, the debutant from the Tubber Club, one of 3 generations of that family that have now worn the Clare jersey. John Conlon, was he held? Referee says no, and that allows Shane McGrath again to send another missile into his full forward line. Owen Kelly holding it up there. Conor Cooney though did well, and now the tiding is done by Cian Dillon. Out towards James McInerney, playing in that wing back role, looking upfield, tried to pick a pass, trying to get it in towards Conlon. That's a great battle between Pádraig Maher and John Conlon. Conor O'Mahony, the Newport defender, tidying up, but loses it again to Fergal Lynch, who looks like a man on a mission. Gets it back to Nicky O'Connell. Half blocked, will work though for Conor McGrath. Clever little hand pass out to the debutant from Cracklow. That's Cathal McInerney. Cathal McInerney high and over the bar. The Cracklow men combining. Good score by Cathal McInerney and a good response. Clare looking very lively.
Yeah, they've built up a lot of momentum. Conor McGrath looks very sharp on the ball, and a good start now for Cathal McInerney with his first shot on goal. But Fergal Lynch and Conor O'Mahony came on against Cork and closed up the centre of defence, but it seems to be very open down the middle there today.
4 of the Clare forwards have already scored to back up that point. John Conlon trying to move that ball inside, was stopped by the aforementioned Conor O'Mahony. Tried to pick out the pass, but the man that was alert to it was Pat Vaughan, the captain from Crusheen. Huge ball looking for Dara Honan. Curran does enough to break it down to John O'Keefe. The ball is still alive. Lovely pick up by Conor McGrath. Flicks the ball outside to John Conlon. Conlon trying to make space, actually lost his hurl, but did ever so well to get control of the stick back again, but in so doing overran with the ball. Often you lose the ball, Nicky, but not often you lose the hurl.
Well, I think for the sheer effort in getting back to Hurley there, I'd let him off with it. It was as good a bit of skill as you'll see.
Meanwhile, ball back down at the other end. James McInerney getting a touch, breaks to John O'Brien. 1-4 to 1 point, Clare ahead. John O'Brien makes space for himself. Tries the angle shot, knocked down by Lar Corbett, but Philip Brennan was alert to it. And Philip Brennan clears his lines. Very close to the sideline. Jonathan Clancy, though, does well to catch and clear the ball upfield. Broken down by Conor O'Mahony. Pádraig Maher who's hit a good bit of ball early doors. Out to the midfield sector where Nicky O'Connell, beaten to it by Seamus Callan. We've seen none of the silky touches yet from Callan in this game. Taking on the Clare defence, good run by Seamus Callan. A man who hit 5 points against Cork, strikes it high and strikes it over the bar. I said we hadn't seen any magic yet from Callan, but on cue he produces. The man from Drummond-Inch, good score.
Yeah, great play. He seemed to be taking too much out of it and you know, getting himself into more trouble, but it was a great score. Initially a great catch in front of Nicky O'Connell. He's a class player, Seamus Callan.
Certainly is, and a man that wants to get himself back on the starting 15 of this Tipperary team this year. Came on as a sub in last year's All-Ireland final. Shane McGrath tidies up again in the midfield sector. Clare losing their own puck out. Out in front here, though, is Conor Cooney. Good play by Cooney, getting away from Owen Kelly, who is detailed to pick up. Long ball downfield again. Michael Cahill, beaten to it by Conor McGrath. What a live wire this man is. McGrath with 3 Tipperary men for company. One of them is Shane McGrath, back helping out that defence. Goes back to Paul Kern, who finds Michael Cahill. The UCC student sends a long ball downfield again, looking for Owen Kelly. Conor Cooney, though, is in charge in that particular duel. Good ball, picks out Nicky O'Connell. In oceans of space out in the middle of the field. Nicky O'Connell, a huge effort. Oh, that's a superb score by Nicky O'Connell. The type of score that can inspire a side. The man from Clonlara comes up with the goods.
Yeah, superb, but what great work by Conor Cooney. He's been absolutely on top all the time against Owen Kelly, and great ball up to Nicky O'Connell, and then great point, but great play by Conor Cooney, who's you know, he had the presence of mind after winning the ball to actually try and find Nicky O'Connell with it, and then from in so well, and Dara Honan down there. You know, there is danger there all the time.
So Brendan Cummins, he had kept 4 clean sheets in his 12 games thus far against Clare, but he's already been beaten in this one. Pádraig Maher does well in the centre-half back position for Clare. Huge ball downfield. The goalkeeper is coming out. Philip Brennan. John O'Brien manages to break it. Owen Kelly's at hand. Goal by Owen Kelly. But when we look back at this one, was it perhaps the goalkeeper that made the wrong decision in coming out? Owen Kelly gets his 19th championship goal for Tipperary, and it was needed, Nicky.
Yeah, it was a good finish by Owen Kelly, but as I say, like, Philip Brennan came out. I mean, I think as a goalie, if you're going to come out, you have to take everything with you, and you know, he might have been better off to bat it if he was going to come out. He shouldn't have come out, in my view, but you know, that's a bad turn.
John Conlon, meanwhile, replies at the other end. Good response. John Conlon gets his first point of the day. I was going to ask you, Nicky, is that the break that Tipperary needed? But Clare have answered.
Yeah, and you know, Conlon, first point of the day, and a very good response. And before that, like, Conor Cooney had been completely ahead of Owen Kelly, and you know, Tip not winning enough of ball.
Puck out down on top of the Clare half-back line. James McInerney eventually broke it out. Pat Vaughan trying to work the ball out, but the strong physical challenges from Tipperary are going in to win the ball back. Garrod Ryan getting onto it. Garrod Ryan high, and Garrod Ryan over the bar. The man who has been recited in what many feel is his more natural midfield position puts it over the bar on his 10th championship appearance. Good score.
Yeah, Garrod Ryan is very, very reliable when he gets onto his left-hand side to hit the ball over the bar, and you know, good score. He's a very natural midfielder in my view.
17 minutes in, and suddenly we're back to a 3-point ball game. David Young takes down the Clare puck out. Conor McGrath puts on the pressure, but in goes Shane McGrath, the Tipperary midfielder. Tidied up by Pat Vaughan. Positions meaning little. Pat Vaughan, number 2 on his back, but now up in the half-forward line early for Clare. Ball breaks to Dara Conan. Dara Conan flashes it high and over the bar. Described during the week as a thoroughbred. Lovely score by Dara Conan. He's first of the game, and the 6'6" man comes up with a good point.
Yeah, Dara Honan is a very, very skillful player, and you know, if he gets chances, he'll score them. And you know, Clare are getting a great return from the chances they're creating, and they're winning enough ball to actually keep creating chances.
Pat Vaughan comes again. Every one of the 6 Clare forwards have now scored as the ball breaks inside. Cathal McInerney trying to get away from John O'Keefe, but the corner back did enough. The Clonulty Rossmore man, he's beaten again though by the game, Cathal McInerney, but eventually sheer weight of numbers clear that ball for Tip by Pádraig Maher. Taken by Lar Corbett. Garrod Ryan's touch just wasn't sure. Breaks back again though to Corbett, who's come out the field looking for ball. Breaks to Patrick Bonner Maher. Now things are opening up. Bonner is inside. The goal is on. Shot and goal by Patrick Bonner Maher. Gets the goal for Tipperary. And the man that usually is the provider comes up with a huge goal. The first of his senior championship career. Vital score.
Yeah, it was a very simple goal in the end. The ball broke through Pat Vaughan, and you know, Bonner-Maher got clean in, and Tipperary, without a whole lot of play, you know, are right back in it, 1 point behind.
Pat Vaughan being spoken to by the referee, James Owens. I think the referee spotted a slap by the Clare captain. That's a yellow card, and Nicky English. Tip score goals in their last 4 championship games. They've hit 13 already today. Even in the midst of a crisis, they've hit 2.
Yeah, and they were badly needed from a tip perspective, and I suppose the opposite is also the case. Clare have shipped a lot of goals in Division 1, and you know, if you're the 2 goals have been soft, really, that they have conceded today.
Well, that's the big question. How would Clare manage to step up from Division 2 hurling? Pat Vaughan, fresh from his yellow card, has a pot at the post, but it ends to the right, side and wide. And that's the first wide for Clare. The point between them, which probably doesn't accurately reflect the flow of the game. Ball breaks again, though, into Larry Corbett. Corbett picks it up and heads for a goal. Patrick O'Connor is in his slipstream. Corbett has a shot. Goal by Larry Corbett. Went in over the stick of Philip Brennan, and Larry Corbett comes up with Tipperary's 3rd goal in this game. His 21st in championship action. It's raining goals in Thurles for Tipperary.
Yeah, virtually a carbon copy, Sean, of the first goal, where Pat Vaughan and Pat O'Connor, the ball came through the 2 of them. A long ball, just both of them missed it in the air again. Broke cleanly to Larry Corbett, and you know, Lars has huge in so far in the game.
3 goals in 4 minutes here in the Gaelic grounds in Limerick. It's some statement from the All-Ireland champions from a situation in which they were in serious trouble. They've turned it around, 3-3 to 1-7. As Clare come on the attack, Jeremy McMahon getting in towards Dara Conan. Controls it. The man who was out with a groin injury is fouled, free into Clare. And of course, the important thing now from a Clare viewpoint, Nicky, is 21 minutes in.
Their defence looks a bit porous when the ball comes down to it here, particularly on this side. But they're certainly well in it and not out of it.
So Conor McGrath puts it over the bar. First free of the afternoon for Clare. Yields the first point from the place ball. Gone over the bar. And I suppose that was something we saw in the Division 2 League final. That openness in the Clare defence as well. Yeah,
and I think it's been a feature of all their Division 1. You know, if you at that level, if you're conceding 14 goals in 6 games, it's too much.
Well tidied up, well taken out of the air by Pat Vaughan. Early ball up, looking for John Conlon to try to get away from Paddy Maher. The 2 fought, but the first up is Maher, heading back towards his own 20-metre line, but does well to gain possession of the slither. John O'Keefe decides to boom it up to that full forward line. Owen Kelly breaks it down. Patrick Bonner-Maher, buoyed up by that goal, of course, sees Owen Kelly pick out a lovely ball into Noel McGrath. But Cian Dillon did the necessary just when Noel McGrath looked to be inside again. Conor Cooney, long clearance, looking for Fergal Lynch. Lynch and Conor O'Mahony are having a great battle. Conor McGrath takes a slap there, play on to the referee though. Michael Cahill blocks him at the 2nd attempt. McGrath being forced out the field. Pressure from 2 Tipperary men. Nicky O'Connell goes in, ends up on the ground as well. Eventually, John Conlon tries to get control of the sitter but can't quite. Dara Conan is the man though that brings a little bit of control to the proceeding. Gets an early ball inside to Cahill McInerney, or Jimmy McMahon, who was swung around there. Free into Clare, and I think David Young in that instance probably knew what he was doing.
Yeah, well, I think he was behind, and he was certainly Dara Honan, particularly John Conlon, Dermot McMahon. You know, they're all still doing well on their respective markers.
So 2nd yellow card of the game then, 1 apiece. As Conor McGrath. Incredible to think this man is making his debut this afternoon. Such is his confidence on the ball. Won a Fail under 14 skills competition in 2005. As he stands over this free, puts it straight over the bar. A goal and 3 points from the Cracklow man on his first competitive game from Clare, and he'll be quite happy with that.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise that he won a Fail of skills competition. He's lively, very quick, and very great pair of hands.
Huge puck out by Cummins. Won by Seamus Callan. That athletic build. His shot is half blocked or in towards goal. Patrick Bonner-Maher. Good control. Good pressure though by the Clare defence, making sure that he can't quite get back onto his feet with the ball, and Patrick Vaughan clears the deal for Clare. Long ball downfield. Cahill was out in front of McGrath. Conor O'Mahony gets a touch along the ground, and eventually that ball goes out.
A lot of skill, and certainly a lot of it from Clare, and a lot of great attitude from Clare, and they're moving the ball very quickly.
James McInerney's line ball in what has been a very enjoyable game thus far, dealt with though by Paul Curran. David Young, huge clearance from the Toomey Vera man, looking for Owen Kelly. Great catch by the captain. Owen Kelly spins away from Conor Cooney. It's a super point by Kelly. Lovely score. I think got a slap on the hand for his troubles, but Owen Kelly gets his second point of the afternoon, his first one play. Great score.
Yeah, great catch, and you see Conor Cooney coming in with the hurley there on the strike from Owen Kelly, and you see he gets him across the hand there, and to me that would be deserving of a yellow card.
And his second championship appearance this afternoon, and his debut of course against Cork 3 weeks ago. The 22-year-old doesn't hit it all that well. Cathal McInerney has done well to reclaim the ball, but it's picked out of the sky there by Conor O'Mahony and driven upfield. James McInerney deals with that ball. He's fouled though by Owen Kelly, and James McInerney picking himself up.
Angry after the last challenge, and looks like he's going to get a yellow card here, which is maybe harsh enough, but
might be maybe some variables going back to the previous incident, perhaps.
There may have been, and certainly Owen, you know, there was no question it occurred.
John O'Brien out at left half forward for Tipperary. Seamus Callan now in at the edge of the square. That free taken by Nicky O'Connell, dropping into the danger area, still alive, but referee has spotted an infringement.
No harm to look perplexed anyway, I suppose.
Spoken by a forward, we'd expect nothing else. Great catch by John O'Brien from the free out. O'Brien goes back to make progress, back to Paulie Maher. Maher, huge effort, it's high and it's over the bar. One of the points of the afternoon comes from the Thurles Sarsfield's wing-back. Super score by the man that was captain of the under-21 team last season.
Yeah, that's a great score by Paulie Maher, and he's hit more ball than any Tip player today. He's been Tip's most consistent and best player since the game started, and that particularly so when he's on John Conlon, who's one of Clare's most promising attackers.
Well picked up there by Jeremy McMahon. Fires that ball in, but overhit. Asking a lot from Cathal McInerney, who's now gone into the right corner. It's held up, and that allows the Cratloe man to gain possession. Knocked out, played under-21 football championship with Clare this season. Taken easily though by Pádraig Maher. His confidence is high after that magnificent point. Lara Corbett tries to get a touch in it, comes out to John O'Brien. O'Brien looks for his options, steadies himself, nonchalantly knocks it off the sod in the Gaelic grounds, but in the end it was a little bit of overplay. Cian Dillon gets it down to Cathal McInerney. Lovely layoff to Jeremy McMahon. McMahon high, and the cousin of the former great Shawnee McMahon dissects the post. Second point of the day for the Kilmaley man. Well taken score.
Yeah, fantastic score by Dermot McMahon, but it was a great pick up by Cathal McInerney, and Clare are actually using their hand to catch to pick the ball off, to get the ball into their hand quickly off the ground. They're not using their hurley, and everything they're doing is very sharp.
Yeah, Jeremy McMahon at number 11 now for Clare as the ball breaks out into Seamus Callan in oceans of space. One man that's well able to use the space. Callan knocks it nonchalantly almost over the bar. Well taken score, his second of the day.
Very easy score by Seamus Callan, and again a tip forward, actually getting into space between the Clare half back line and full back line. He too much space, and Clare will just have to counteract that and make sure that they're stopping the ball in their half back line.
It's even noticeable for this puck out how deep John O'Brien is bringing Patrick O'Connor, the wing back, out away from that half back line to create that space. Conor O'Mahony has settled into the game in the last 15 minutes or so, up towards Seamus Callan. Well blocked down by McInerney, but Callan goes again. Lovely ball in front of his full forward line. Pat Vaughan gets a touch. Lara Corbett is interested, picks it up, turning around for Conor Cooney, gets inside, hand pass out. Noel McGrath is there, but Cian Dillon, vital interception, breaks back to Owen Kelly. Owen Kelly eyes the point, has the shot, but for once it goes to the right hand side and wide, third wide.
And Lara might have taken a shot as opposed to pass it back out.
So Philip Brennan looking for John Conlon with this puck out. Ball breaking through. Conlon tries to get onto it when it hits the deck, but the man that's the master in that particular sector of the field is Pádraig Maher. He's fouled by Conlon, but Maher...
He's a huge man.
So Conor O'Mahony then to take the free. His 30th championship appearance for Clare this afternoon. Well taken though by the man wearing 6 at the other end. That's James McInerney. Out to Jeremy McMahon, was too long swinging in the first instance, but gets better with the second one. Into Cathal McInerney, the goal is on. Oh, great save by Brendan Cummins. Wonderful advance by the Tipperary custodian. Ball is still alive. Derek Honan kicks it inside, but it's tidied up by, guess who? Warwick Maher. But a magnificent save by Brendan Cummins.
Yeah, Clare really had a great chance. Colin had a great chance for goal.
Meanwhile, Noel McGrath pops it high and pops it over the bar. Lovely score by Noel McGrath. His first point of the afternoon, and how quickly a game can change. What could have been a clear goal becomes a Tipperary point.
Yeah, brilliant save by Cummins. He stands up and makes himself big, and not for once he's saved Tipperary in a very dangerous situation. But Carl McInerney, really, he should have scored.
The puck out, flipped along the ground by Paul Curran. 3-7 for Tipperary, 1-10 for Clare. Seamus Callan, half blocked there by James McInerney.
Back, it's his first day at cornerback in senior championship, and a little bit naive because he's getting his man is getting in behind him, and that's letting the corner forward catch the ball behind you really at cornerback at the intercounty level is not on the menu.
David Young with a line ball, doesn't go where he intended to. Nicky O'Connell winning the ball for Clare under pressure from Shane McGrath, but Nicky O'Connell getting it inside to this full forward line again, but in this instance it's overhit. And that becomes Clare's second wide of the afternoon. They've been quite economical.
Yeah, they've taken all the chances virtually that have presented themselves. What they haven't done is got ball into Darragh Honan or down on top of Darragh Honan.
Meanwhile, there's a little bit of action off the ball. Shane McGrath, Jim McMahon and Nicky O'Connell are the latest. Puck out by Cummins then, goes towards John O'Brien. Well taken down by Patrick O'Connor. Getting a helping hand from Jonathan Clancy. Garrod Ryan comes in to try and gain possession for Tip. He does just that, runs into a wall of Claremen, all three of them. John Conlon back helping out the defence in this deep lying role. Conlon using his strength to try and break the challenge from John O'Brien. Good bit of play by John Conlon, who, as you say, Nicky, is under pressure to get into the game from O'Connell. Get this into the danger zone to see if the banner can get a score before half-time. Dropping into the danger zone, Brendan Cummins comes out, the ball came off the midriff of the goalkeeper, but out he comes eventually. Ball glued to the stick and gets it away, anywhere will do, under pressure from Conor McGrath. Nicky O'Connell vying for possession, but he was robbed there by the ace that is Noel McGrath. Plays a diagonal ball, looking for Seamus Callan. Oh, look at that for a pickup. Class play by Callan, but then he throws it up, and the sheer weight of numbers from Clare put him under pressure. Fantastic work rate by the Clare team. James McInerney gets a stick to it, but Shane McGrath gets the vital touch out to Noel McGrath. Noel McGrath off the left, hits it high. The umpire has a long look, and it tails off to the right and wide. Wide number 4.
Yeah, but Clare are forcing Tip to work really hard. Like 3 or 4 Clare men around the ball, hooking Seamus Callan, and ultimately when they do get it to Noel McGrath, he's under pressure.
That's the last act
for Clare. Take us through this.
Well, Gerard Loughlin will be thrilled with the way the team started. I mean, we highlighted Conor McGrath was before the game that good things happen when this guy got the ball, and I mean this is just a fantastic goal. I mean, he picks the ball 45 metres out from goal, one thing in his mind, straight through the middle, and just watch this finish. Top speed, top corner, unstoppable shot.
What would the temptation have been so early in the game just to take in the point?
It would, but this guy's a finisher, and he doesn't lack confidence. And there's a touch, I suppose, of the Paul Flynn. Certain players just have that finisher's instinct, that desire to go for it. And he showed that plum to go through the centre of the Tip defence and do what he did.
And then, of course, there were other points as well which were added in, and that's 6-point start for the game.
Absolutely. We see McGrath here again. He's had to work very, very hard for his scores again. Makes the room for himself. Good off both sides, and that's again a cool score from. And this is his first championship.
So Declan Ryan making the changes at half-time. Ball is in, and the second half is underway. Slight breeze with Tipperary in this second half, as James McInerney, it's the first ball into the Clare attack to Conor McGrath. Lovely little ball into the path of Jonathan Clancy. Didn't get it under control though, but was fouled. Deemed
Re-establish himself onto the team. I think the free here for Jonathan Clancy was a bit soft, and a good chance for Conor McGrath just to get Clare up and running again in the second half.
Yes, Clare's scoring rate dropped at the end of that opening half, as Conor McGrath stands over this free then. Man of the match in Cratloe's county final win of 2009. The first ever county title victory in Clare. He sends it high, puts it straight over the bar. That's the start that Gerard Loughlin and his management team would have wanted from Clare from the second half. First blood to the banner.
Yeah, they played with a lot of intensity in the first half. And so Gerard Loughlin want Clare to keep up the intensity as well for the second half and put Tip back in the back foot again.
Stephen Lillis is operating at right half-back for the Tipmen, and Paddy Stapleton is operating in the left corner-back position. Lillis making his championship debut as Paddy Stapleton gets onto the ball, gets his first touch. Back to Conor O'Mahony. Long ball up to his forward line. John O'Brien gets a touch, breaks down. Conor Cooney tried to deal with it from the Clare perspective. James McInerney does. Gets the pass away to Jonathan Clancy. Lively player in the middle of the field for the Banner. Conor O'Mahony, though, takes down his long ball upfield. O'Mahony spraying it down to Patrick Bonner-Maher. Quick little hand pass to Noel McGrath. He then picks out Seamus Callan. Untidy play by Tipperary in that instance. Moved along the ground well there by Clare. Shane McGrath playing it in front of John O'Brien. Vital touch though, breaks inside again to Shane McGrath. Will he be happy to take the point? He will. Shane McGrath guides that ball over the bar. The man from Ballynahinch gets his first point, and the two Tipperary midfielders have now scored.
Great vision by Noel McGrath just to pick out Shane McGrath and, you know, hop the ball off the ground into his hand. But you know, play was a bit scrappy before that, and Clare don't seem to be approaching with the same energy that they had in the first half, and that could be a worry for them.
Of hurling for Garrod Ryan, or Shane McGrath, I should say in that instance. That's Shane McGrath on the ball again. 17 points to 14. Nice control by John O'Brien. Cian Dillon, though, did very well when the ball broke to get onto it. Looking for Dara Conan to get onto this ball. Paul Curran is there, though. Michael Cahill comes in, the cornerback. The man who won All-Ireland medals at senior and under-21 level last year. Ball goes out over the line. And Dara Conan is a man, I think, that Clare will look to try and get more involved in the game in the second half, Nicky.
Yeah, I don't think, from a Clare perspective, that he's been involved enough. You know, he's an extremely talented player, and as you saw there, and quickly to get tipped back on the back foot.
Stephen Lillis from the county champions, Thurles Sarsfield, taking that.
And then they can punish teams.
Jared O'Loughlin then will want to see that intensity back in the Clare game. Shane McGrath, good line ball. Breaks in the danger area. Patrick O'Connor does well, heading back towards his own goal. Gets the pass away to Jonathan Clancy. Gets away from the Tipperary challenges and gets it downfield to Jeremy McMahon. McMahon offloads just behind Nicky O'Connell, though. But O'Connell does well to retrieve the ball. Taking on the two Tipperary midfielders. Garrod Ryan stops his progress. In comes John Conlon. Conlon, lovely bit of control. Scored the winning point for NUIG in the Fitzgibbon Cup final of 2 years ago. And that's a lovely score by John Conlon. His second point of the day. And the man from Clonlara puts it over the bar. Well taken point.
Yeah, that's what you'll want. John Conlon actually is a great striker off the left, quickly coming across that way. Very strong man. I thought Nicky O'Connell had overdone it, but good score.
Ball breaks. Lara Corwell and Seamus Callan almost in each other's way. Long ball looking for Noel McGrath. Conor Cooney did enough, but McGrath's inside, bearing down a goal, kicks it into the net, but referee has blown the whistle. James Owens has blown the whistle. Owen Kelly looks at the Wexford. Yellow card then for James McInerney from Newmarket. And the penalty will now ensue. And this will be Owen Kelly country. In fact, it's going to be a 20-metre free. There were only 3 Claremen in on the goal line initially, but it's a 20-metre free.
What's that?
5 minutes into the second half of the Munster Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. Waterford await the winners. Kelly has already hit 1 goal and 2 points in the game. He's on his way, taking his time. Striking, deflected over the bar, is it? No, it's deflected out. And it's still alive, and Conor Cooney is the man that takes it away. Patrick Donlan, I think, was the man that saved it. Excellent work by the Clare defence, and it could be a game-changing moment, perhaps. Jeremy McMahon. Long ball down the other end of the field, Carl McInerney. And Dara Conan almost getting in each other's way. Conor McGrath comes in along the end line. Paddy Stapleton putting him under pressure. McGrath, did he pick that one off the carpet? Stapleton sticking to his task there. Dara Conan trying to offload, but sheer weight of numbers and the physicality of the Tipperary defence ensure that ball is cleared. Breaks into the path of Lara Corbett, and here goes the speedster. Corbett bearing down a goal. The shot blocked by Cian Dillon. I think there was an important hook in there on Corbett as well. So in the last 60 seconds or so, 2 goal chances have been spurned by the All-Ireland champions. It remains a 2-point ball game. Tip in front by those 2 points. Jérôme McMahon rolling back the ears, gaining possession in the half-back line area that he would be well used to. James Owens awards the free against the Clare man. Is that a controversial call?
I think he's signalling that this is, first of all, it hits the crossbar, and Pat Donlan actually did 2 superb hook on Larry Corbett, but he also blocked the follow-up shot on the penalty. So great work by Pat Donlan. After Clare scoring or saving the penalty, if they could have got a score at the other side, would have certainly put the pressure back on Tip.
So Owen Kelly, just 2 minutes ago, he stood over a penalty. There was no dividend from that. This time he stands over the free and he makes 100% sure a goal and 3 points now for Owen Kelly as Tip again go to their bench, and Pa Burke of Thurles Sarsfields is introduced, and John O'Brien is the man that's been taken off.
Yeah, John O'Brien has not had one of his better days. He's been, you know, Cian Dillon has done very well on him, and you know, Tip are, you know, other than the goals in the first half, they're Clare are matching them everywhere.
John O'Brien, the only Tip forward that didn't actually score in the game. So the game is still delicately poised. John Conlon half-hooked, manages to find Conor McGrath. 3 Tipperary men are in his slipstream. Lovely pass though, picked out to Jérôme McMahon. High by McMahon, but from the minute it left the come on the bench, but in this instance he puts it wide. Yeah, it's fairly kind of a period now, Nicky, isn't it?
Yeah, this game is Tipperary are far from out of the woods here, and if Clare could actually up it again and get a couple of scores here, you know, they're very much in it.
Pat Donlan at centre-back for Clare, marking Seamus Callan as Fergal Lynch gets onto the ball in the half-forward line for the banner. Picking out Nicky O'Connell. O'Connell well hooked by Noel McGrath. Seamus Callan and Conor McGrath vie for possession. The Clare man again goes through the eye of a needle. Lovely play by Conor McGrath. Didn't quite give it enough purchase though. And Brendan Cummins, the All-Ireland Puck Father champion, of course, of yore, drives a long ball downfield into his captain Owen Kelly. Can he release? Pa Burke, vital interception though. And Cian Dillon did well to sort that out from a Clare viewpoint. Patrick Donlan looking for Dara Conan. Ball picked up though by Paulie Maher, making headway out of that Tipperary defence, finding Garrod Ryan. Garrod Ryan from the middle of the field. Superb score by Ryan. When the need was greatest, Pádraig Maher set up Garrod Ryan for his 2nd score of the game.
Yeah, Paddy Maher picking up where he left off in the first half, and again, Garrod Ryan is very, very reliable, very accurate when he gets a shot from around midfield.
The Tip crowd getting behind their team. It hasn't been vintage from the All-Ireland champions this afternoon, as Nicky O'Connell has a shot from the sideline.
A couple of chances there now, and the last time, you know, Conor McGrath took a shot where Fergal Lynch was free as well, so they could have had 3 points there, and whoever gets the next couple of scores here is going to be very vital.
The Skilbin Cup winners for Clare combining. James McInerney finding Jonathan Clancy. Early ball inside, taken by Pádraig Maher. He is beginning to resume the tour de force performance that he gave in the opening half. Lovely ball into space, but there was no one on the same wavelength. In a blue and gold jersey at least. Conor Cooney has the calmness to pick out his cornerback. That's Cian Dillon, who has played most of this game.
Shane McGrath have this 50 or 60 yards back in on top of him again now, very quickly.
48 minutes then, 3:10 for the All-Ireland champions, 1:12 for Clare, playing their first championship game of 2011. And this, the 3rd Munster championship game of the year. Nice rob, a lovely turn by Seamus Callan. Ah, what a score by Seamus Callan. They talk about the proverbial turning on a sixpence. There you had it. Point number 3 from Callan. Super score.
Yeah, and previously Nicky O'Connell had got a chance to rise it. So, you know, the gap is up to 5 points there now, and Tip starting to get the scores easier. Clare need to just hang in here now and actually up, if possible, up the intensity. But they look tired, and you know, that's because they've put in a huge effort in the first half. So they certainly need a goal or get the ball to Dara Honan, who's he's come out here. Up to now, Clare have been able to close them down, but they've been working really hard to do it. So as you're tired, that's not always as easy to do. They need a score.
Fergal Lynch in the centre forward channel does well to win the ball, gets it out to John Conlon. Well blocked again by Pádraig Maher. They really have had some battle, the two of those guys. Maher making his way upfield. has a shot from the left half forward position. The umpires look, they're not interested though, goes wide. What a game Maher is having, and again we wonder, would Clare consider moving Conlon off him, Nicky?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't moved John Conlon earlier, because, you know, he is important, and every time he's got on the ball he's done something, but he can't get on the ball because Paddy Maher is just having a magnificent game.
Great catch by Conor O'Mahony from the Clare puck out. Went soaring into the clouds with that one. Patrick O'Connor, though, at the other end does likewise. Patrick O'Connor, a shot that's high and it goes wide. He took a challenge.
Rushed, and that's another one of them. So they need to get any chance they get, they need to score.
Patrick Donlan robbed though by Patrick Maher. Here comes Bonner Maher, but he then in turn has his pocket picked by Patrick Donlan. Keane Dillon is out there along with Pat Vaughan. Stalemate situation. Eventually picked up by Lar Corbett. Lovely crossfield ball picking out Noel McGrath. Noel McGrath, like a well-oiled machine, pops it over the bar. Noel McGrath gets his second point of the day, and therein lies the difference so far in the opening stages of the second half. Nicky English, Clare have got chances at one end, they haven't taken them. Tip have got them at the other, so they have.
Yeah, and Tip will take all these chances because, you know, their forwards have a lot of class, and interestingly there you had 4 or 5 Clare fellas over that ball in the corner, and they were all slow to get up.
Picked up by Garrow Dryne in the middle of the field. Clare haven't scored since the 11th minute. In 11 minutes, I should say. Patrick Donlan stops the latest attack by the Premier men. Patrick O'Connor. Nice ball that eventually breaks into the path of Conor McGrath. Jonathan Clancy makes a little run off the ball for him to draw the defenders. Conor McGrath goes one way, then hits the other way in towards the goal, but again didn't have the legs to get over the bar, and Brendan Cummins will take those all day. Huge clearance by Cummins down to Lar. Gets it back to Seamus Callanan. Well blocked down though. Great block by Patrick O'Connor, but it's picked up again by Seamus Callanan. And again with consummate ease, Seamus Callanan puts it over the bar. 4 points now from Callanan. You just can't give him the chance.
Yeah, in the first half, you know, Clare were able to keep the effort up and put pressure on him and bottle him up. You see there, even when Pat O'Connor blocked, you know, he was on the ground, there was no one else to come in, and Seamus Callanan was able to pick it up and without under any pressure put it over the bar.
Puck out again from Clare. It's Tipperary though that win it. Stephen Lillis moves the ball up towards Paul Burke. Lovely little layoff into the path of Noel McGrath. For once it didn't come up the first time from McGrath. Gets away from the challenge though from James McInerney. Back to Paul Burke. Paul Burke now, there's oceans of space if he can get away. Paul Burke is happy to guide the ball over the bar. The man from Thurles Sarsfields puts it high and over the bar in his 11th championship appearance for Tipperary. Well taken score.
Yeah, now the gaps are opening up for Tip, and they will punish you in cases like that, and Clare are tiring. You see James McInerney, he was under pressure there. Pat Donlan, players that have played very well up to now, they're coming under a bit of pressure.
Suddenly on 53 minutes, the gap is 8 points. The All-Ireland champions beginning to flex their muscles as John Conlon has a shot down at the other end, and that's a very good score. And the one thing about John Conlon is he's a classy player, Nicky. I mean, that's his 3rd point of the day, and you just wonder if he was away from Maher. I know we keep reiterating the point, what he could do.
Yeah, every time he's got a shot on goals, he's scored, particularly off his left-hand side, and I just think it's certainly, we've said it before, but it's certainly worth a try. When they had a few chances during that gap, and could have kept pressure on Tip.
So John Conlon goes to midfield, where he'll be picked up by Garrow Dryne. Keane Dillon tries to flick it away, but it's picked up by Lar Corbett. Almost a reverse hand pass. Well taken by Noel McGrath. McGrath, dangerous ball. Oh, look at that for a score. Noel McGrath. That was all about the wrist, Nicky English. He hadn't an ounce of room almost to move, but he guided it over the bar, and it just got there.
Yeah, the biggest job he had was to try and avoid Pa Burke. He had to get him to take evasive action first.
Long puck out, looking for Fergal Lynch. Breaks into the path of John Conlon. Conlon has a shot this time off the left, and John Conlon guides it, comes back off the woodwork. Conor McGrath is in there, but Brendan Cummins is also there. But the man that tidies up is Michael Cahill. Dispossessed by Dara Colan though. McGrath keeping it alive for Clare. Being outnumbered, gets the pass back. Jierman McMahon ends up on the ground. He's fouled, free in, but just for a fleeting second. Therein lies the difference as Conor McGrath stands over this free. Puts it high and over the bar. A personal tally of a goal and 5 points for Conor McGrath. And it just about keeps Clare in touch, Nicky.
Yeah, they certainly Clare to get back in this game. They need at least one goal or maybe two, and you know, they need to get the ball quickly into the square and try and get Darragh Honan or someone involved in there.
Huge fuck out by Brendan Cummins. Well caught out of the air there by Patrick Donlan. O'Callaghan's middle club and then gives it away, intercepted by Callan. Patrick Bonner-Maher is onto it. Gets it back to Seamus Callan. Get the ball to the finisher seems to be the motto, but in this instance, the finish.
Just those little mistakes have crept into the Clare game in the second half.
Interestingly, James McInerney is now in the full-back position, picking up Noel McGrath as Tipperary continue this movement of their forwards. Shea McGrath bringing the fight to the bannerman, gets it out to Pa Burke, who's already notched the points as his introduction. Pa Burke high, and Pa Burke in this instance puts it to the right and wide.
Normally very accurate, Pa Burke, and you know, beautiful striker of the ball. You know, it has again come up through the ranks of those successful minor and under-21 teams in Tip, and you know, Noel McGrath, Bonner-Maher himself, Seamus Callan, all very used to playing with one another.
That ball is flashed wide. Clare are continuing their process of just picking up man for man in the defensive area, which sees some unusual positionings at times, but the movement in this Tipperary attack has to be seen to be believed, Nicky.
Yeah, I mean, I really to mark them, you just have to mark man to man, because they're moving so much. They'll all come around it and eventually get back to their own positions.
Pat Vaughan, long ball upfield. Conor McGrath gets onto it. Getting away there from Paddy Stapleton, and Conor McGrath puts it over the bar. I think we're seeing the birth of a young star in the Munster Championship this afternoon. A goal and 6 points now for the Cracklow man, and he certainly exudes confidence.
Well, he's an outstanding player, and you know, he's just classic striker of the ball and great hands.
Ball robbed again there from the Tipperary men by Lara Corbett. Has a shot, but immediately goes to the left-hand side of the wide. It's interesting, the constant movement. I mean, Lara Corbett 50 seconds ago was corner forward. He's now out as centre forward. It's very, very difficult for a defence other than going man-to-man. If you don't go man-to-man, it's very nearly impossible to pick it up zonally.
Exactly, and then you get Pat Vaughan, who's, you know, is a small cornerback, and you get him in a centre-back position because he's man marking, and it doesn't help.
John Conlon. Long high ball in towards Conor McGrath, well taken by Paul Curran, and the Tipperary full-back did extremely well there, gets it away to Conor O'Mahony. Long ball downfield again, taken well though by Patrick Donlan. Again though, the pass is misplaced. Noel McGrath, lovely little guided hand pass off to Shane McGrath, and from the 65-metre line he has a pop, but it tails off to the left and wide number 10 now for Tipperary. And certainly from Declan Rice's point of view, there's a lot of things he has to work on in this Tipperary performance as well.
Yeah, and you know, I'm just looking at him there, he's a little bit anxious. Tip have hit about 4 wides in a row there. Now if Clare could actually get a goal here, it would give them the drive on again for the last 10 minutes and make a real game of it.
Jeremy McMahon, I think, has that in his head. Patrick Donlan hooked by Noel McGrath, but he gets it at the second attempt. Nice little hand pass into Jonathan Clancy. Clancy is happy to take the point, puts it over. First point of the day for the Clare Castle clubman. Twice a Fitzgibbon Cup medalist with LIT, puts it over the bar. That keeps Clare in touch.
Yeah, I thought Jonathan Clancy actually carried it a little bit too far, that he gave the defender a chance to block him down, but you know, Clare have it back now. They're back to within 5 points, and after 3 or 4 wides by Tip, if Clare could get another score or two, we'd have a great finish.
Conor McGrath in a full forward for Clare. Meanwhile, Seamus Callan catches high, sends it this time straight between the posts, and Seamus Callan, he got 5 points against Cork in the quarter-final. He's now got 5 against Clare in the semi.
Yeah, this is one of his best points. Great catch from the puck out, and off his left-hand side from the other side of the field this time. Great point.
And of course, he's a huge man as well, Nicky, isn't he?
Yeah, he's massive. Well, and most of these Tip forwards are very strong.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Clancy, will he be able to get his second point in as many minutes? He does. James Woodlock is warming up for the Tip men as Clancy puts it over the bar. You just get the feeling, Nicky, with 9 minutes left, that this may not be quite the done deal yet.
Yeah, I think so, because you know, Tip have missed the chances, and a feature of Tip games so far in the league that they've been on and off the gas, and you know, playing in snatches, and they're doing that a little bit. They felt as if they had enough done there 5 or 6 minutes ago.
Puck out. Tal Burke tries to get it. Nice little flick away by Keane Dillon. Picked up by Garrod Ryan. Garrod Ryan, huge effort from the sideline. But again, it goes to the right-hand side and wide, and that wide tally is beginning to mount for the All-Ireland champions.
Yeah, that was a shot to noting. Now that ball should have been put in front of Owen Kelly or, you know, Pat Burke and kept in play, because there was very little chance he was going to score there. As you can see, Declan isn't looking over happy looking.
So James Woodlock comes in, and Garrod Ryan is the midfielder that's been taken off. So James Woodlock, good to see him back from that serious leg break that he had. He's coming in to make his 13th championship appearance this afternoon, and Declan Ryan has not been afraid to make the changes.
No, and that's been a feature of Declan's managers since he took over as manager. He hasn't been afraid to make changes very quickly when he deemed necessary.
James Woodlock straight away into the action, gets it to Noel McGrath. The ease with which he can get away from his player. But again, the wides mania has really struck Tipperary. They're now on 12, and they're making life a little bit difficult for themselves here.
Yeah, of the last 5 or 6 minutes, they've hit everything they've hit has gone wide, other than Callan's point from the left.
Shane McGrath. I suppose the important thing, though, from a Tipperary viewpoint, at least, Nicky, they're creating the chances. 5 points in it, 316 to 117. Of course, we remember the enthralling game here 2 years ago. There was only 2 points in that at the end. Tipperary winning it. Picked up there by Cormac O'Donovan from the Clonlara club in Clare. Gets it in field, looking for Fergal Lynch. Porrick Maher, though, sends another long ball down to his forward line. Now breaks down to the path of Patrick Bonner Maher. Gets the pass away to Pa Burke. Pa Burke rounds one challenge. Pa Burke has the point for the taking in this instance, and Pa Burke puts it over the bar. Second point for Pa Burke, and dare I say it, an important score for Tipperary to make the gap 6 points, Nicky, but just to settle them down after that series of wides.
Yeah, and it was again great work by Bonner Maher. He's been a hugely influential player since he came on in the qualifier series last year against Wexford. He does a huge amount of work. You know, he's winning all the dirty ball and you know, good pass over to Pa Burke and Larry Corbett. You know, all John O'Brien, all good finishers.
Puck out, great catch again by Porrick Maher. What a game this guy has played. Maher comes on, hits it high, and for the second time this afternoon, gets a capital score. What a game he's having. Yeah,
just magnificent player, Porrick Maher. You know, and certainly he's improved from the last day. But you can play him full back, centre back, anywhere, and it's just his physique. He's a massive player.
And suddenly the gap is at 7 points again. He will be a little bit happier. 5 minutes left then. Clare will be more than happy, though. I know we're talking 5 minutes out, but they will be more than happy with their...
Have fought well, and Gerlach can be delighted with it.
James McInerney didn't play in the National League Division 2 final defeat to Limerick. Well caught by Fergal Lynch, who I think he was in two minds almost. He was trying to get the shot in low to try and create a goal chance, but it really didn't work. Patrick O'Connor does well at wing back. Tried to pick out the Clare man, but Porrick Maher was on the same wavelength. Picked up though by Cathal McInerney. Finding his centre forward, Fergal Lynch. Fergal Lynch has 3 Tipperary men for company, but managed to get away. Gets the hand pass out to Derek Honan. Honan turns. Dangerous ball dropping in around the square. Taken superbly though by Paul Curran. Excellent play by the full-back. Clears it outfield. Jonathan Clancy quite overruns it initially. Derek Honan stepping inside the challenge of Woodlock, who managed to get the hook in though. Honan comes again. Derek Honan surveying the field to see what his options are. Plays it over. Lynch misses it. Picked up though by Cathal McInerney. McInerney onto his right-hand side has the shot. The umpires are happy, and Cathal McInerney gets his second point of the day. But you can even see in that build-up that Tipperary were quite happy to force the Clare men out the field looking for options.
Yeah, at this stage you know that Clare need goals, and you know, Paul Curran had a fantastic catch inside at the edge of the square when the ball went in there. So it's you know, Clare have the save by Brendan Cummins just before half-time was the last meaningful shot they had at goals. And Paul Curran has obviously done some damage.
As Derek Honan has as well. Goals win games, as they say. Brendan Cummins then with another one of these huge puck outs in the second half. Slight breeze behind him in the second half. Seamus Callan Picks it up, has a shot high. Another effort that was not far away, Nicky, because we were pretty much behind that one. There wasn't a lot in it.
No, not a lot in it. It was very close, and you know, at this stage of the game, it doesn't matter really. They can shoot from the sideline all they want, and you know, Seamus Callanan has certainly re-established himself in a big way back in the Tipperary senior half forward line. He's just an outstanding against Cork and outstanding again today.
Colin Ryan into the Clare team then. Man of the match time has arrived, Nicky English. We'll get your thoughts.
Well, I think it's, you know, for Clare, Conor McGrath has been absolutely outstanding.
Meanwhile, John Conlon bearing down on goal. We'll follow the action. A host of Tipperary defenders. There was nearly 6 defenders in there.